Be strong.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Audio Bites. David Copperfield, a novel by Charles Dickens. So, here we are with the episode 10. So, let's get started. How it all worked out. The deaths of Ham and Steerforth had made me very sad. They also reminded me again of my own dear wife's death. I tried to cheer myself up and thought that it was now time for me to go abroad for a while. Before I did anything, though, there was a meeting I had to attend. I had to go to the Canterbury to hear what Mr. Micawber wanted to say. My aunt was already there. So were Mr. Wickfield, Agnes, and Mr. Micawber. Agnes looked more beautiful than ever. My smile soon faded when I remembered that she would get married to Heap soon. Mr. Micawber was standing in front of us all, with his glasses on, and he was holding a long sheet of paper. He was no longer acting mysteriously. He seemed confident and looked like he had something very important to say. What I have here, my good friends, will make us all happy again, and will show us that good always wins over evil in the end. As you know, I work for Mr. Uriah Heep. You may have suspected that he could not be trusted, and you would have been right. Here is a list of all the papers he signed without Mr. Wickfield's permission. I also have proof that he stole money and that he used Mr. Wickfield's name to steal the money of certain people like Miss Betsy Trotwood here. But, like all criminals, he will lose, thanks to me. We all rose from our seats and clapped and cheered with joy. Mr. Wickfield and Agnes hugged. I was so glad that everything had turned out well that I had to express my appreciation to Mr. Micawber. Mr. Micawber, your behavior confused me. It had crossed my mind that perhaps you were no longer the good man I once knew. I apologize for having thought badly of you. I want to thank you with all my heart for the good that you have done. Dear David, I had my doubts about Heap from the start, but I needed proof before I could say anything. That may explain why my behavior might have seemed mysterious. Things worked out rather well for everyone after that. The Micawbers paid their debts and then emigrated to Australia with Mr. Peggotty and Emily. Mr. Wickfield made sure that Uriah Heep was sent to prison. Aunt Betsy returned to her cottage in Dover with Mr. Dick, who wanted to get back to working on his book. Things now were better for Mr. Wickfield too, and Agnes would not have to marry Uriah Heep. I soon left England, as I had planned, and went to Europe. I took Agnes' advice and did something useful there. I decided to write again and to send my work home to be published. People bought my books and I liked them. Soon I became a well-known author. A year later, I returned to England first. I visited Aunt Betsy. She was overjoyed to see me. We walked far into the night and she told me all news about my friends. But I was more interested in one person than anyone else. Aunt Betsy, have you heard any news from Agnes? My aunt smiled and looked at me strangely. She is more beautiful than ever. I think she may be in love, and perhaps she will marry soon. I suddenly felt empty, as if I had lost something very precious. Do you know who the lucky guy is? It is not my place to say, David. These are just my suspicions. Then, if it's true, I'm sure Agnes will tell me when she sees me. I should have felt happy for Agnes because she deserved to find true love, but instead I felt empty. The thought of her being in love with someone else almost broke my heart. It was then that I realized that my feelings for her were far deeper than the love of a brother for a sister. I arranged to visit Agnes at her home as soon as possible after that conversation. I found her alone reading by the fire. When she saw me come in, she put her book down and welcomed me. We sat in one of the old-fashioned window seats and talked. She looked very happy to see me. You shall become so famous soon, David, that it will be impossible for us to talk like this in the future. Then we must talk now, while I still can. You look very thoughtful today, David. My dear Agnes, do you doubt my being true to you? No, she answered with a look of astonishment. You have a secret. Let me share it, Agnes. She looked down and started to tremble. I continued. It is so strange to hear from someone else's lip that you are in love. If you can trust me as you say you can, let me be your friend, your brother. Do not shut me out of your happiness. She rose from the window and hurried across the room, as if she did not know where she was going, and burst into tears. I do not know why, but seeing her reaction filled my heart with hope. I went after her and took her arm, then looked into her beautiful blue eyes. Agnes, sister, dearest, what have I done? I cannot bear to see you like this. My dearest girl, dearer to me than anything in life. If you are unhappy, let me share the unhappiness. If you need help, let me give it to you. For whom do I live now, Agnes, if not for you? Don't speak to me now, David. Don't. I am not myself. Another time. That was all I could distinguish through her tears. I must say more. If you think that I cannot be happy for you and let you marry a good man of your own choice, you are wrong, and I don't deserve it. That's not true. Whenever I needed help or guidance, you have given it to me. If I have any secret, it is not a new one, and I cannot reveal it. It has been mine for a long time, and it must remain mine. She tried to leave again, but I stopped her. Agnes, stay. A moment. Her words were going through my mind, giving me a new hope. Dearest Agnes, whom I respect and honor so, whom I love with all my heart, when I came here today, I thought that nothing would have made me say this. I wanted to keep it a secret until we were old. But if I have any hope to ever call you something more than sister. New tears started rolling quickly down her face. She looked at me, and my heart leapt. They were tears of joy. Agnes, forever my guide, my best support. You were always so much better than me, and I needed you to be there for me always. To listen to my every hope and dream. So I did not realize that my first and the greatest love was for you. I went away loving you, I stayed away loving you, and I returned home loving you. I know that now, and I will never let you go. You are the only person I have ever loved, David. I did not tell you this before because I was afraid that you did not feel the same way about me. Oh, Agnes, I would be the happiest man in the world if you married me. I will marry you, David. On the day of our wedding, while we were celebrating with our friends and family, she turned to me and whispered, My dearest husband, there is one thing I must tell you. Let me hear it, my love. It is about the night when Dora died. Yes, she wanted to ask me a favor, a last request, and it was that only I would take her place. My beautiful Agnes put her head on my chest and cried, and I cried with her, even though we were so happy. My story is almost finished. Agnes and I married, and I am now a happy family man with 3 children and a successful writing career. One day, as we sat together by the fire, an unexpected visitor arrived. It was Mr. Peggotty. He had done well in Australia and had come back to thank me for everything, but especially for not telling him and Emily about Ham's death before they left. If they had known about it earlier, they would probably never have gone and their lives would not have been so successful. He also told me that Mr. Micawber had become a governor, so his honesty finally paid off and he had become respected and popular in his new country. When I look back, I see that I had good times and bad times. But I suppose that's life, as the saying goes. I'm certain of one thing though: kindness conquers all. I'm grateful for the good people I met and for the way my life had turned out at the end. So here we come to the end of the episode 10. This was a super amazing novel by Charles Dickens and we have successfully completed it. So friends, however your life is right now, whatever struggles you're facing, please believe it in your heart that it will turn out to be brilliant. It will turn out to be very, very good at some point of time. And always remember what David said, right? Kindness conquers all. So be kind, be happy, be safe, and please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. You will come across very frequent and amazing audiobook episodes like this one, and we will be exploring even more genres. So please do subscribe the channel. Your support matters. Thank you for watching.